Race 2 coming to the line here. We're on pole position. We've got this reverse grid situation again. Todd Ellis and Chaz Richardson on the 600 Honda start on pole. I don't honestly know who's lining up alongside them. What I can tell you is first race winner Tim Reeves. Tim and Tristan are 10th, so they're right back on row 5. As indeed are Steve Kershaw and Stuart Clark. Kershaw set the fastest lap in race 1. If he goes with Reeves, he certainly can stay with him. It's going to be frantic here. It's very tight on a track that's half the width of Thruxton.
Well, actually, lining up alongside Todd Ellis is actually Gary Horspoll. There's Phil Bell, 3rd place in race 1, with Justin Sharp having a bit of a one-off ride. Justin Sharp, vastly experienced. There's Gary Horspoll and Jimmy Connell taking their place. They were late to the line, confused me on the grid walk, didn't they? But Gary Horspoll enjoying riding the long bike. Look at this pair, Barry James and young Jack Tritton in his debut season. And I have to say, riding as well as I've ever seen Tim Reeves ride this year, having a brilliant, brilliant season. Reunited with brother Tris for the domestic championship. And Tristan admits that he was a little bit sceptical about jumping in because he's been a long time away, 2013. But he's on board and absolutely flying. So watch the lights then. From pole position, look at Todd Ellis on the 600. It's Gary Horspoll, the big bike, getting the grunt, of course. That's an ex-Tim Reeves bike he's on anyway, and here is the master. On board with Tim Reeves, looking at the back of Phil Bell and Justin Sharp as they go round Coppice up towards Charlie's. At Charlie's now, and then away down this long, long straight where they will hit 140 miles an hour through the speed trap in the bottom of the hill. Ben and Tom Birchall looking alongside. We're on board with Alan Founds, but they're being absolutely gobbled up by the big engine bikes coming through. Barry James then at the head of that queue. This is Tim Reeves. Tim Reeves looking at the back of Todd Ellis and Charlie Richardson. Chaz Richardson, vastly experienced passenger, doing a great job. Now, can Tim Reeves' big bike gallop past the 600? Well, you would think so, wouldn't you? But Barry James out in front of Horspoll. On board with Founds, right behind Ben Holland and Tom Bryant. Looking good in the middle of the pack. They're shadowing the Reeves boys. Kershaw is going with him. Steve Kershaw's going with him. Looking at Phil Bell then, on board with Reeves. Look at the mixed up. I have to say, almost speechless. This reverse grid situation works so well. And here at Cadwell Park, we're seeing it at its very best. In the back of the shot there's Sean Hilditch, and chasing through Ricky Stevens and Ryan Charwood, and the wheel in the air from Bell. The passengers, in fairness, and Justin Sharp didn't work that left. You can't work the left. There's not enough time to work the left and get back. Ben Holland kissing fairings. You have to be careful you don't trap the passenger's right hand when they lean over and they're holding down the side of the fairing. If you give them a nudge, you could trap the hand. Gary Bryan with Phil Hyde, haven't they gelled together very well? Ben and Tom Birchall going through on the Mitchells of Mansfield number 16 600 Yamaha, which is very, very quick through the bends. They are ahead of Tim and Tristan Reeves, and being devil's advocate, I just wonder what's going to happen when they get together on tarmac. Through past Gary Bryan goes Tim Reeves. He's now on the back end of the Birchall brothers. Ahead of the Birchall brothers, it looks to me like Gary Horspoll and Jimmy Connell. Now, Birchall's going through underneath Horspoll. Horspoll and Jimmy Connell, this lovely Scotsman who commutes on a regular basis. Through goes Reeves, down out of the gooseneck into Mansfield. Through goes Kershaw, underneath Gary Bryan. Kershaw then just lost touch with Tim Reeves. He needs to stay with him. As I said in the intro, Steve Kershaw, a fastest lap and a new lap record in race 1. Can he do the same in race 2? Look at Ben Holland and Tom Bryant switching through, but we're on board with Ricky and Ryan, and they're unable to do anything about this flying bunch in front of them, I can tell you. They're right at the back of this pack. Meanwhile, Kershaw marching on. He's got to get past Horspoll though. He can see Tim Reeves, and frustratingly he can see Tim Reeves just ahead of him, disappearing down the start-finish straight. 125 miles an hour over the finish line. There goes Kershaw, through goes Kershaw. Reeves then on the back of the Birchall brothers. And this, I know, is going to be masterful. He's going to have to work very, very cleverly here and used the speed of the Carl Cox Motorsport Kawasaki to find a way past, and here it is. Oh, how clean do you want it? Just a little kiss on the way through. There you go, Ben. That was nice and tidy, wasn't it? Tim Reeves then past the Birchall brothers at Chris Curve now. Round they go. Barry James and Jack Tritton will be the next crew to fall victim to Tim and Tristan Reeves on lap 3 of 10. 10 laps around Cadwell Park. A long, long way. Immense concentration needed. The Birchalls are staying with Tim and Tristan Reeves, and they'll get even closer and might see Barry James and Jack Tritton as a passing opportunity, because they are going well, and Tim Reeves is not going to be able to fly past them. He'll find a way past, I'm sure, at some stage. Now just watch how the passenger works this left. Can't really, but that's a good job. Jack Tritton did a good job there. Worked it enough, that's for sure. That's what happens when you're young and nimble. You can flick from one side to the other. Jack Tritton, of course, his father, a very experienced passenger, has taught him everything he knows. And here we are. Past the Barry James Kawasaki goes the Carl Cox Motorsport into the lead. Tim and Tristan Reeves in the lead then on lap 4. The Birchalls, though, going with them. This is one cracking race. The chase very much on here. Ben and Tom Birchall on the back of, and they're good mates actually, Barry James and Ben Birchall. I was at a wedding function once when they were all there having beers in the bar. Lovely stuff. Barry James then leading the Birchall brothers, and Steve Kershaw, Stuart Clark actually 4th in the race but 3rd in class, because don't lose sight of the fact that Birchalls are on a 600. They are 600 Cup leaders by a country mile at the moment, having gone round here at quickest. They set a fastest lap on a 600, which is astonishing. But Kershaw gathering momentum now, looking at the back of Ben and Tom Birchall, who simply have to find a way past Barry James and Jack Tritton, and they do. They do really, really well. Through they go then. Kershaw as well into the bottom of the mountain. Not able to do it. Barry James sweeping around the outside. Up over the hill they go. Into the woodland section. Kershaw's not going to be able to do anything. He's going to have to follow the leader all the way through the trees. As Ben and Tom Birchall flick the 600cc Yamaha. It's very nimble. That's where they gain on corner speed and manoeuvrability. And Tom, the passenger, said it's much easier to ride, puts less stress on the passenger. This is where Kershaw then should get the Express Tyres Blink Bonnie Kawasaki past Barry James. Kawasaki plays Kawasaki, but Kershaw's is very, very quick. And it's another lap record for Steve Kershaw. Steve Kershaw in the 32s, but Barry James fighting back, not a bit of it, completely unabashed and mixing it up front. And Barry James, it's worth saying, one of the few riders in recent years to beat Tim Reeves, not just once, but twice on home ground at Brands Hatch. Way back in, let me see, 2011 possibly. Statisticians out there, please don't correct me because I haven't got the paperwork to hand, but it's a rough guess. So we know Barry James is quick, and we could see he's quick because he's back past Kershaw and Clark and giving them no small amount of problems. Kershaw can see, and through he goes out of the gooseneck into Mansfield. That's it now. Kershaw dives through on the brakes on the left. Ricky Stevens up alongside Phil Bell, going underneath Phil Bell. No, Phil Bell going through. Go! Kershaw! Oh dear, what did I say? Horsepole. Horsepole spins. What? What happened there? That's what Ricky Stevens is saying too. Into the advertising hoardings. Well, I'm not sure what happened. That all happened so quickly. It was Gary Horsepole and Jimmy Connell who came out of the slipstream of Phil Bell. Dear me. Oh, let's have a look. Let's see. On board with Ben Holland. Yeah, Gary Horsepole lunged across and collided. Oh, and how lucky was Ben Holland to miss that, shaking his head in utter disbelief. I have no idea what happened there. Gary Horsepole came across from the left-hand side of the track into Ricky Stevens. Phil Bell also ran wide. So drama then on lap 8 here. Whew. Well, that was frantic stuff, wasn't it? Kershaw's now established in 3rd position on the road, 2nd in class, because ahead of them are the Birchall boys on the 600. Ben Holland and Tom Bryant looking for a way past Gary Bryan and Phil Hyde on the Santander Salt Kawasaki. Ben Holland, I remind you, on Rupert Archer's Suzuki, but carrying the number 60, and that chassis will be fitted with Kawasaki engines in due course. Has the Suzuki got the legs then to go past Gary Bryan's Kawasaki on the fastest part of the circuit? Here they come. Just having a look.